Okay, I'm going to show you how to take the math centers. This works for the literacy centers, any center in PowerPoint, and put it on SeeSaw. Okay, so first you're going to open the PowerPoint file that you want, and then next you're going to take any text boxes on here, you're going to take them off. Okay, so I just like to drag around where I want the text boxes off, just hit delete, and then delete. Because on SeeSaw we're going to add text boxes on top. Okay, and then you're also going to make sure on every slide the movable pieces aren't on top of the slide, or it will save it with that on top. Okay, so you're just going to go through, make sure there's no movable pieces on top of the background. And then you're going to go up here to File, and then you're going to Export. And you can export it as either a PDF or a image. I recommend using the images file, so I'm going to do a PNG, and I'm going to click Save Every Slide, and then click Export. And it's going to save each of these slides as its own image, so then we can upload those to SeeSaw as the pages. Okay, so now if you want these movable pieces to be in SeeSaw as movable pieces too, what you're going to do is to each movable piece right click and then click Save as Picture, and then you'll just save these images as pictures on your computer. Okay, and you go through and you do that for each one. If you don't want to do that because time and sanity and your students are able to type or use the markers on SeeSaw and write, then like on this center they don't really even need these movable pieces on SeeSaw, so you don't have to do that. It's up to you. Okay, then you're going to go into your SeeSaw in your library. You're going to create a new activity, and that was a place value match. And then you're going to click Add Template and then Upload. Okay, here you're going to select from your computer, and I'm already in here because I was playing with this earlier, but you're going to find where you saved it, and you're going to take all those background slides you saved as images and upload them. You can only do 10 to start with. You can add more later, but only start with 10 or less. This center only had 8, so we're good. Then we click the green check, and it's going to take us here, and you can see each of the slides is now a different page in SeeSaw, and SeeSaw has all these tools right here that the students can draw, write, add their speaker recording. So then on this one, if you want to, before your students get it, if they struggle with making their own text boxes, you can insert text boxes for them on this recording sheet like this. Or if you don't want to have a recording sheet, you can even delete that page if you'd rather look through every slide one by one, and then it's up to you. Okay, so you can keep going, and what's nice about SeeSaw too is you can duplicate. So click the 3 little dots, click duplicate, and then it's going to just make you a copy. You can drag that one down to the next box and fill that up. Then on these ones, you can instruct your students to use the marker and write the answers, or you can tell them to add a text box, or you can add the text boxes right here for them to type in over here on the side. Obviously you can drag these around, resize them, they can too. If you do want to have the movable pieces, you're going to click this little photo icon and click Upload, and then you're going to grab where you saved those movable pieces. I just did one so I can show you, and then it's going to put it right here, and then you can resize, and then you can put these, on the side out of the way a little bit so they can still see the blocks, and then they could drag it over to this spot. Okay, so you can play with that, and then the students will just go in and they'll complete the center, the activity. One thing you will need to be aware of is the instructions on the first page might be a little bit different if you're not having the draggable pieces. Okay, because like number 3, drag it on top, find the matching card. That might be different if you decide instead to have a text box for them to type, or you want them to write with their writing utensils in here. So what you can do on here is just add a text box on top, and you can cover up these directions right here with your own directions. Or what you can do too is just skip this first slide if you want to, and then you can type your own on top of that. Or you can just insert a new page, add a page, insert a new page that has your directions. If it's, type your response or add an audio recording of your response to each one, draw your response, etc. So that's how you can take a center from PowerPoint and insert it into SeeSaw. If you have the literacy centers from Lucky Little Learners, there's not a PowerPoint file included in the download just because of size, but what you can do is go into the Google Slide and go to File, Download as a PowerPoint, and then go through the same process.